Welcome to Inferno 2023. This is Rauta, the last fucking day of the festival. And what we have here is some more Norwegian black metal. Surprise, surprise. This one is Odium. And let's introduce these musicians, artists. Who are you again?
I'm Morindune and I play synth and work for the festival as well.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't say anything bad about the festival. Great festival, by the way. And you, sir, 123.
I am Secthdamon, the head of Odium.
Now, you played an interesting and good gig here.
Thank you.
And you are now barely surviving with the whole event here.
Barely surviving. I'm still here.
So,
kind of dead, but...
Alive inside?
No.
Dead inside.
Dead inside.
Oh, yeah, that's, yeah.
So, how does it feel playing at the biggest festival in Norway related to any kind of a metal?
Actually, that was getting special, actually, at all.
You also played last year with your other band, so are there differences when you go on stage with, say, Odium or
quite surprised I actually had like a good audience with actually a mosh pit before I even asked for it. So.
Yeah, it seemed like you were totally like dominating.
Tried.
Especially when your drummer is dominator.
Yes.
So,
we're lucky we're dominated. We're lucky with that one.
So
you should have seen him last year when he was trying to walk the day before. We had been walking up and down the stairs all the days. We were so tired in the feet. It was like...
I couldn't fucking stand, man.
He couldn't stand. We just like tried to watch some mayhem and I was like, no, we just have to head back to the hotel basically.
Now, talking about your live presence, it's something different when you have not only one set of keyboards, but two. And it makes like the setting very interesting and kind of a cool because it's like how do you say, balance is right there with the keyboards and all that stuff. But also, of course, it's more important, it's your music. Having those layers of keyboards with guitar and drums and vocals. How does it feel to compose or make the music live with two sets of keyboards?
I guess it feels more powerful. Just like at Steel Fest when we watched Vidoe, seeing them with two keyboards as well was like this actually sounds amazing. So it felt a lot better the day after with us playing as well. But Tony was like, they took our idea with it, but...
No offense.
Yeah, but maybe...
But yeah, I mean, like, right now, that sounded... We went into the video, it was like...
You know, Vaga actually sounds like Emperor's or something.
Yeah, I know, knowing the guy, I mean, of course, he's very much inspired by that kind of stuff. So it's like you're basically like in the same territory roughly, but your music then again also sounds different.
Yeah.
How does composing music for Odium work when you have so many different instruments? It's not just let's do guitar tracks here and drums and keyboards, but way more. Like
I will definitely start with making riffs, you know, maybe find the right,
chords.
Right chords for following each other and everything.
And then we have Mustis coming over.
I will record in a Cubase or something, and then try to like experience with like keyboards or anything other things.
How does composing go? Do you do it together, or is it just you putting everything together and it's like, this is what you're gonna play?
Right now, I'm the first to do it all alone, during the night or something.
That's what I want to pick your brain about. I mean, I understand when people like say grab their guitar or bass and like figure out, okay, these are the kind of riffs I want to put. But when you kind of have to figure everything out in your brain, how does your brain kind of organizing these ideas, how your brain looks like if you kind of open it up and see, okay, this is how Odium songs are being built?
I do, you know, I usually have a vision if I make like this, maybe an opening riff or something. I usually have like a vision of how I want it to sound like. Yeah, that's actually it. You know. It's, but then I try to record it in the Cubase and stuff, and then I just try to rearrange the riffs or whatever until I'm happy with what it sounds like.
But you also play death metal. So how death metal and black metal, because these two styles you have are very, very different from one another. How much like different settings you have to put your brain into when you're shifting from one band to another?
I actually don't play death metal at all. I just love death metal, not black metal. But still there are different styles, you know, in death metal. For me, it feels more like technical, you chug, you know. I love chugging, you know. And if you have some cool, you know, breakdowns, you know, you always get mosh pits of people, you know. But black metal, you just like stand there looking at you.
We actually had a couple of mosh pits.
And it's when you play black metal too, it's at least like old school black metal, it's kind of like you like punky. You know? You don't do like chugs or
Yeah, it's
like,
more
it's
simple.
open clean. But in Odium, it's not like easy to play guitar in Odium. You need extreme stamina and being like technical.
So what is the
Especially the
reason?
new stuff, not the old stuff.
What's the reason why we don't have more Odium albums out so far?
Well, back in the day, you know, I felt like I was a bit alone on the band, you know, with my old bandmates, and I should like put the fuck out of there and just like jump into Murkskog, and I played with Cyclone and Emperor and all these bands, you know. And then Inferno actually asked me if I wanted to play a show with Odium because one of the promoters was at our show in was it in 1999 or something, where we did support for Emperor. Like, I was at that show, and I was like, it was a good band. It's like, can we get Odium to play the Inferno? I was like, yeah, we can do 2018. It will be our 20-year anniversary. No, the 25-year anniversary.
No, that's now. It was I think 20 years.
Losing
ago.
count.
I'm a bit drunk, but
Yeah.
you know, and then we did that show, and the response was great, and it was fun to play with Odium again.
Now you mentioned also Mustis being the other keyboard player, and a lot of people, of course, know him from Demo Board.
Yeah.
Does that come with a kind of a package when you like bring someone of kind of a fame? I mean, of course, you have your own fame, but also doing like kind of a black metal celebrity, if you can call it that.
And like, I guess for us, this is that guy that comes over and we play synth together and drink coffee.
Drink coffee and
And-
hangs out with us all the time. It's
We
like
always
a
have to
friend,
have
you know.
a lot of coffee on stand when he is coming over. So
He is no diva.
no,
I mean, he sounds
is,
like a good guy if he is
he
a coffee
is,
addict like
He's
me.
a good guy, man. I love him.
Actually, yeah, Mustis is the sweetest guy you can meet. So not a diva at all.
Helpful, sympathetic guy.
Yeah.
My impression. Good
So-
guy.
So now that we talked about like where are these Odium albums, and you have been like more active in the sense of doing these kicks and stuff, can we at least expect more Odium stuff
Yeah,
coming?
you will, because I actually did play 2 new songs at the show on Friday here in Inferno. I do have all 5 other songs ready. I'm just like miss a couple riffs and the other remaining songs, like 2 other songs.
Excellent.
And when I got like, if Moses will join full time, I will probably just help with him too. But I'm.
So how about the lyrical side of Odium? If we open that box, what will we find?
Like the old lyrics? Or the
No, well, actually both.
Well, the old lyrics are actually just like maybe like a hymn to the nice guy for my sake. Maybe it's just a vision I had in my brain or something. It's hard to like explain like the.
Like a lot of people expect black metal always to be satanic topics, anti-Christian topics, fights against religion and rebellion and all that stuff.
Still kind of occult, you know. in audio,
Yeah.
but not just like pure Satan. You know, so
Yeah.
it feels more deep than that.
When you compare to that death metal world you were very much part of, do you also need to switch your brain for a little bit different mood when writing those lyrics, or does it just come out naturally?
I do have to write lyrics at night actually. But,
With a glass of wine and
sure, that will help actually. But, you need to be in the right mood to create lyrics.
so can we even go as far as to say there's a little bit of a romantic touch in that sense, that you need to kind of a right mood, a glass of wine and all the time?
Odium is a bit romantic.
So it's kind of your softer side being reflected into the music, can we put it that way?
I don't know, I do have more melody than you will see from Murkskog though, but still it's new stuff pretty brutal. So.
Yeah, I mean your music is
but
quite
the keyboards will of course soften it up a little bit.
Yeah. So, Zilis, you have been also for a lot of years in the scene. You've seen a lot of things. How do you feel Norwegian scene has been changing throughout these, say, past 20 years? Especially like Inferno has been out for like 20 years now, and lots of things have changed.
The funniest thing is actually last year there was a lot of gray hair in the audience.
It's something that you haven't seen before.
But last year was a lot of gray hair in the audience. But this year, it's actually been a lot of younger people showing up. Like even we had a mosh pit, or several mosh pits when we played.
Quite early
And it's
actually,
like,
in the show. Weird.
usually you don't get mosh pits
With black metal.
during
Yeah.
black metal gigs. So it's like,
It happens.
well, sometimes, but not that often. But it seems like a lot of younger people are actually starting to show up, which is really good because we don't want the scene to die.
Just people with their, their rocking chairs, like, oh yeah.
We're coming in with our.
Just
we
20,
just
20
have to
years,
go
you
see-
will be in 20 years.
We're
All
gonna
of us
see
will come in here.
mayhem. Like,
all retired people coming there
Yeah.
with like their walking sticks and
Yeah.
what I'm like, oh yeah, play that song.
Too loud.
And people are yelling at cloud kind of a moment. This is too loud, too bright lights. We need subtitles for the lyrics.
It's like
Stop
a walking
the
chair mosh pit, man.
but yeah, actually, I was really pleasantly surprised
Yeah.
this year because there's been a lot of younger people showing up to Inferno, and I'm happy because then I know that
The legacy will continue.
yeah.
Yeah, and you also get to feel like I'm the auntie in the black metal scene. No, seriously, Tony, how has, in your opinion, because you've been around for also very, very long time, and Norwegian scene can, of course, become more family friendly, and a lot of bands have been appearing, and festivals have been growing up, and all these black metal tourism and all that stuff. Things are not exactly like they were in like 1993.
Nope.
So, is it for the better or worse, or mix of both?
I think it's a mix of both, I guess. It's maybe the earlier guys like Count Grishnak and Uranus' style of doing things are probably not the best way of yeah, you know what I mean. But I don't know, man. It's different times, you know.
From your perspective as an artist who plays in various bands and does gigs and tours, how does it feel nowadays to do that versus say 10, 20 years ago? I mean, you're getting older as we all are, but like, does it affect how you do these things? Or do you have just some secret, I don't know, medication like I'm eternally young and all that stuff?
Well, I don't know, man. Tough question, dude.
Tough questions like are making me tough.
It's just like, I don't know, man.
He just listens to Wasp, but it was good.
Things are different, but when I was young, you still get nervousness for playing shows, and never get too old for having your own expectations of a live show, no matter how whatever age you're having. So I don't know, the feeling when I was young and now it's I don't know. I have
Thinking
no,
as
like,
well, you also stress more about your own band than you do about
yeah, of course, if
playing
you play
for other
session
bands,
bands, you know,
yeah.
I don't have any responsibility, but with Odium, of course, my expectation from myself and the other people are extremely high. So yeah, but still.
Yeah, since you also do those live responsibilities in some so-called bigger bands, how you get to organize all these stuff that you have your own bands rehearsals, you have these live sessions, and you have, of course, touring and individual gigs. How do you manage it?
I do also have a job though. Usually I actually have a self-discipline by myself because I cannot join every rehearsal. Even Emperor, they actually drive more hours than rehearse if I go to rehearsal with them. So they're pretty used to me just like rehearsing at home, coming to the show, deliver what I do. You know, if I would do some mistakes too often, I would probably hear about it. You know, and but still. And Odium and my other bands, I actually have to rely on people. Actually, have a self-discipline to rehearse at home because since I'm a sound technician and with pretty big band, I work a lot. So I hope people take our music serious and rehearse at home. And we do some, of course, some together rehearsals before the shows and something. So I just hope people share my vision.
I think they do because at least the audience were like very, very much into it, and it seemed like grateful for like having this kind of band which is not doing gigs like every week and so.
Right.
Now, Silvia, let's talk about a little bit your lines of duty in the metal scene. You also, of course, have a day job, and on top of that, you have band things, and then you have these festival responsibilities. What is your secret recipe to handling these all and being in different camps? Because you, of course, do this festival work, and then you have band's responsibilities and kind of have to wiggle through. So
It's a bit of like just enjoying what you do, I guess, and I like to call it, I have my grown-up job, and then I have my hobbies, but as a computer engineer, it's quite easy to actually combine everything because I can work at all times during the day.
And
night and
she's always
and the summer, and he'll be there. Why are you working right now? You're supposed to have the day off. It's like, I just have to finish this.
Just this.
Yeah.
I know the ever going workflow, like just this one thing, and 5 hours later you're still like, I'm not finished.
And then he's gonna be sitting there like,
Fuck you!
basically, yeah.
No.
Or it's like, don't you have a holiday? It's like, well, yeah, but I just have to do this one small thing. It's like,
She's not no better though. I have to call my worker and I said, yeah, I can do it. She's like, what's your day off?
Okay, because now people are like figuring out, well, what are these people do? Now they have to understand, like you being a couple, so now you're not only bandmates, because otherwise it would sound all weird. Which I don't know, like, what is this?
Yeah. Is this Dr. Phil?
Exactly. Welcome to Rauta's Dr. Phil episode.
How do
Next
you
time.
feel?
Next time in Oslo,
Like,
let's do it.
could you really just explain your emotions without telling me? Like,
I feel a very warmth for Tony.
Well, thank
He's
you.
a very good.
could you give us a confession?
I love my girlfriend.
All right, that's pretty much a wrap. No, seriously, since you do this festival work and you sometimes, of course, have to make priorities, do you ever get like into arguments like, okay, you're doing too much that and not enough that, or does everything like
No,
find
like
the flow?
for me, like for Inferno this year, I have basically most of the stuff I have to do before the festival done like a month ago, and then I can just rehearse, and then the shit hits the fan when I go off the stage, and it's good to go to just work more. But it's a weird sort of, I guess, balance to keep as well, because it's like, yeah, I'm here playing, but I also work here. But it's still, what can I say? I actually enjoy it because I have all my friends working around me, and the crew at Inferno is basically the best sort of people you can work with. So
you're kind of a workaholic, enjoying your work way too much.
Yes, I work all.
Okay, what's the best thing in metal in your opinion?
the people. I mean, just meeting new people, and yeah, going to like Inferno, it's like everyone is just like, it's a big happy family.
This is not something that you expected from a black metal interview. You're a bunch of happy family hugging.
Yeah, but it's.
So we are, man.
I know.
It's basically.
Most of the dialogue we look scared when you say myself.
I'm not gonna
we
lie.
want some bad apples, of course, in every place, but.
I gotta say, there was a weird, but kind of in a good way, conversation with the breakfast table yesterday. Me and my camera woman right there, and there was this older couple from, I think they were Gothenburg or something, and they were like talking about like there's all black clothed people, and they were expected to arrive.
Is everybody wearing leather jackets?
They were like expected to arrive to Oslo for empty city during Easter, and they're like, this hotel is full of people. They were really friendly and curious about us, and then they started talking about classical music and classical arts, and then we also got to like educate it, like, actually, did you know Monk is related to Kurunen? Did you know that some classical parts have inspired a lot of especially symphonic black metal? They were like, really? Like people in the 70s, and suddenly like, but you're all so nice and friendly, and like, yeah, black metal danger, totally fucking ruined. Like now we're explaining this all to older people.
I still remember opening up my history book. It's like, oh yeah, then we came to I think the Baroque period. I was like, there's a picture of God, and it's like, yes, the black metal scene is very much inspired by the basically Baroque period in time.
That would be the symphonic black metal.
Yeah, but still, it was a picture of God. So.
Talking of which, when you do this kind of symphonic stuff, and once again you put all the patterns together and ideas together, what kind of bands you are getting your inspiration? What kind of music gives you ideas like, hey man, this is something that I need to adapt to my band, or at least get inspired by it?
Hard questions, man.
Hard questions make me hard.
You make it hard, yeah?
Let's hide it from the...
He said that, I guess.
Since I'm highly interested in death, I just like brutality, and I just want to make in Odium just like a melancholic evil tone, while super fast guitar riffs, playing fast but still slow. You know what I mean? It's very hard to play. It's like you have to practice your stamina really hard, and then I also have the bands I'm inspired by. It's I don't know anymore, man.
I guess it's kind of hard to like know what's the source.
Still,
when
I love bands, like the Bodyguard, Emperor,
So you kind of keep that legacy going.
He's like that.
All the riffs,
I love the demo.
all the riffs I have for the new songs I made, it's actually riffs from early 2000s. So today, we sound modern.
All right. Now, since we're going to wrap up, so that we're not going to spend here the rest of the day as well, what is your work philosophy? If you have to like sum up how you do you, like kind of as an advice, like you should do music like this because, I mean, could you sum it up?
Yeah, for my view, I will not just make a riff or like, throw in songs right now. I always like think about it. If I don't like the things I do, it never happen in one of the songs either. You know?
So you kind of go by instinct or intuition in a way?
Oh, yeah.
All right. What about you? What is the core of your musicianship?
I guess playing on top of what he makes, but also I'm a violinist,
Oh.
really, and I come from a family where my mother is an opera singer, my father was an organist, so classical music is sort of
That's where it all kind of comes from.
that's my heart basically. So he's stuck with my sometimes too happy, I guess.
She loves Cradle of Filth, you know. So
Oh yeah, now we bring in
some
vampires.
themes.
Where,
I like it's through Cradle of Filth. Yeah. This is like.
Before this turns into family fight, we're gonna wrap things up. So, give a tip to the younger self. Let's say you're talking to your 15 years younger version. What kind of tip you could give? Like, hey, this is something you need to know before becoming an artist, or while you were being an artist.
I think care less and just be yourself.
Wow,
Careless and fuck you.
Yeah, basically.
that is your advice.
That is an advice because that's what you become when you get older now.
Yeah, you gotta get grumpy and pretty careless, and
You just don't say it loud, do you?
we just did,
I
I
just
guess.
did.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
did. So.
I think this is wrap. Now we're gonna get into fights, and everybody's going to restless, and you know how it goes.
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a slam fest here.
All
So-
promotion is good promotion. You know.
Okay, last final question. Your favorite Odium track is?
Today is probably this the All to Instead of Being, the track I made in 2001.
Yours?
Palace of Forgotten Dreams.
So right there, people. Now you're like, okay, I'm gonna do a little YouTubing. You're gonna open up your Spotify or whatever. Check out those songs first, and then dive deep into the world of Odium. Now you know a little bit more, and if you don't blame me because you haven't been listening, obviously. This is Rauta. This is Odium Inferno 2023. See you on the fucking other side. Thank you. This was probably the funniest thing. I'll make the mic off.
I am
A
drunk.
bit too drunk to do an interview.